So can you tell us the secret sauce? What's the? Is it
my
the
gosh.
legs that makes this show such a success?
The legs, oh my gosh. Well, it doesn't hurt that they're pretty easy to look at, all of them, I would say, and they're particularly good to look at when they're together. So, I don't know, it's really resonated with fans. I think it just doesn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, you know, it's unabashedly sexy, very good-looking, beautiful people, but we try to treat the relationships as real as we can, even though the world is so exaggerated, you know?
And I was talking to the Teen Wolf people yesterday about what is it with the third season hotness, where the first season everyone kind of looks down to earth, kind of like someone you would know, but by the third season, all of a sudden everyone looks like
it's hotness. I don't know, man. It's the confidence.
Yeah, and I think every season you just kind of elevate yourselves, right? Like, I mean, when you look back, it's just everybody has evolved, and as people, they've all evolved, and they've all grown up, and it's just sharper.
Yeah, there's definitely a confidence though too. Like I always remember when Anna Silk walked into the prison episode in 301, and I was like, damn girl, she looks good. Like she just carried herself differently. She was like, I am Bo, get out of my way. It was awesome. So I do think there's something that you feel like, okay, the show is working, it's resonating, and I just think it shows on their beautiful, beautiful faces. So plus the makeup budget goes up, maybe.
What do we have in store for season 4?
Craziness, sexiness, funness, jokes, more Duran Duran. No, I don't know. We can get more Duran Duran. More Duran Duran. You can't go wrong with it, right? I think it's going to be really fun. Like third season, we really tried some stuff out. I feel like we were kind of ambitious and pushed the agenda, and I think the fans did embrace it, you know, they really got it. So the sweet spot of season 4 is everybody's bought into the characters, the concept, the world, the relationships. But one thing I think we'd like to expand on is the Fae world, the mythology. You know, if you have people who have lived for 2,000 years, does the past come calling? You know, God, I've lived for 16 years, and I have lots of mistakes in my past. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, just the idea of what is this all coming to, you know? Bo's been sort of hinted at to be her destiny is larger than herself, but what does that actually mean, you know? And as always, on our show, it comes down to choices, you know what I mean? Can you choose who you want to be versus who they tell you you're supposed to be? And just like more down to earth style, you know, we kind of broke up the team last year, so I think Bo's got to put her happy little family back together, and that's going to be challenging.
So what would you say is the main theme of this show?
Well, I think it's of the show in general.
Of the show in general and the 4th season.
I think it is I will choose the life. What does she say in the, I didn't write it. There you go. She says, I will live the life I choose, right? I think that's the theme that really resonates with people, is that like, we don't judge, we don't put labels on, you can choose your own happiness and be who you want to be. And also there's always a chance to make amends, you know what I mean? There's always a chance to, sure you went on a 10-year killing spree, killing everyone you slept with, but you know, can you ever be good enough? Can you fix that? Can you find your place in the world on your own terms? I think that's kind of the theme of the show, so less sexiness.
How was the show created? What was the genesis of the story? How it started out?
Well, Jay Firestone, the exec producer, he sort of created that with the idea. I think started as something like quite different many years ago. Back when I think we shot the pilot. I think it was
5 years ago,
6 years ago. So he kind of came up with this concept that you know, really evolved from what it was originally going to be. It was you know, sold to Showcase, the Canadian network, and they really got on board. And then I think it really evolved once Anna Silk was cast. It kind of became you know, she was you know, once she was cast, I think the show kind of took a bit of a different, it was sort of like it evolved with her, and then all the characters, you know, as they were cast. I mean, somebody like Zoe was brought in, and her character I don't think was going to be as central of a role, but you know, she was so amazing at that part, and Lauren and Bo's relationship was so amazing that that grew, and you know, kris-holden obviously was quite amazing, and yeah, so I think it really began to evolve with the actors that were chosen, and yeah, I mean, Jay brought on an amazing writing team, Michelle Labretta, and Emily Andras was involved in the beginning, Jeremy Boxon, who else was on our first season? Keep on, yeah.
It's just like, it was funny, you know, the main idea was just like sexy super heroine, you know what I mean? But then when you find Anna Silk, you realize like part of her charm is she really has she's such a human girl. I mean, she's so beautiful. You want to be friends with her. She's got that Julia Roberts factor, you know? I think like men think she's gorgeous, but I also want to go have popcorn with her. So because of her vulnerability and her warmth, I feel like the character became something really unique. And that was really what made the show fun to write for. It was this girl with basically superpowers, but who was also just trying to find her way, you know, had never really had a normal romantic relationship because of the old killing factor. So that's kind of
were there surprises along the way that said, wow, this really works, let's go?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think we've been so chuffed about obviously the love triangle, you know what I mean? Like really people really feel strongly about Bo choosing one person or the other or not choosing at all. The friendship between Kenzie and Bo was kind of amazing. Like I really feel like, you know, it's been a long time since I've personally seen a female friendship on television where it wasn't like sort of catty and competing over guys. Yeah, exactly. Like they're just, that friendship is so unique and very like familiar to a lot of viewers, but I don't think you see it on television a lot. So, but we're constantly surprised and delighted, you know, like the humor just really, who could, you know, the comic timing of the cast. Yeah, but like you just push them, you know.
Yeah, and like Rick Howland, I mean, a lot of people really, you know, we have so many fans who just, you know, at New York Comic Con last year, I mean, there was just like people pouring in to ask him questions. I mean, I think that
I was there.
Oh yeah. He's such a lovely guy.
And can you talk a little bit about your backgrounds and how you got to this point? And then I hate to beat a cliche one and say, was it harder to get to this point than female producers?
Oh my God. I think it was, to be honest. Like I don't want to speak for Vanessa, but like particularly of genre, right? There's a real lack of female writers. I don't know why that is, because more than ever, I think genre is female-driven with strong female protagonists, right? From Orphan Black to Continuum to Lost Girl. So I really want to credit Jay Firestone. Like we've always had a very, you know, tons of female producers, very positive female writing team. I don't know why that is. I just think it's been seen as a boys' playground for a long time. And Lost Girl really is like, made me so happy to see that's maybe changing, but you know, in general, we need more female writers. We need more writers, period. But like, I do think, yeah, it's definitely. I feel so blessed. You know what I mean? And still feel like I get to be me and didn't have to change myself to become a writer. But yeah, there's not that much of us. So
yeah, I want to get into the whole minority.
Yeah, well, exactly. But that's a huge thing. Like the statistics are kind of staggering. You know?
It's kind of funny because years ago, Jesse Jackson made this big issue about the fact that every cast there wasn't a single black person, and I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the photos, and at Comic Con yesterday, I interviewed 18 people.
Right.
And the only black one was Isaiah Thomas.
See, that's crazy. Yeah, it's still definitely. Like, I think people want to see themselves on television. That's also the thing about Lost Girl, right? Like, we obviously have a big LGBT kind of following, and I feel like part of the success has just been maybe they haven't seen themselves represented on television in a way that is just like normal, crazy relationships with fights and funny conversations and misunderstandings.
She has a question. I've gotten a chance to
ask it.
She keeps trying.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You're so patient. Have a recorder. Yeah.
So, are you guys going to be focusing a little bit more on the police department?
Right.
A little bit, because like I missed the whole interplay.
Right.
And then with the Ash turnout, I was just like, oh no, what's going to happen now?
Right.
Are you guys going to go a little bit more into that? I mean, I know you have to, because that was like a major cliffhanger.
Right. Like as far as like you missed Hale and Dyson together versus Tamsin and Dyson kind of thing? You're like, where are the boys? My question is, what's going to happen with the boys?
I asked last year for them to have a scene where they're fighting somehow by a river. They fall in the river.
So you're just pissed off you haven't got that.
I was looking for you to send you your royalty check, but until I sign you, I can't put
I asked for a scene by the river, I didn't get it.
It's fan fiction right now. If I put it on screen, you're going to track me down, kick my
I would be
ass.
so happy.
Okay, well, we will do our darndest, I guess, for you
10,
to get their shirts off fighting in a river. How about fighting some hot mermaid?
You already used to hose.
We'll just load it up for you. Exactly, yeah. Our shirt budget for Dyson and Hale is like in half of what the girls is anyway. So, yes, I'm sure we can do that. Well, those guys are amazing together too. Hale and Dyson, that bromance is really super fun, and those actors are so fun together. So, you know, with all the strong female characters, it's good to remember the guys. And oh, fine.
And I think you look forward to a really exciting storyline for Hale this year.
Yeah, he's got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I guess he's back in the police department since he's no longer at.
I don't know.
You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make a spin-off for you though, fake cops, because since this is your thing, you're like, look, get the dowel. Where's the paperwork? The sexy paperwork.
Sexy.
They are sexy.
But is Trick okay?
I hope so. That guy was locked in a trunk. Oh, he's the blood king. Good luck. I feel sorry for whoever's circling Trick. I think they're the ones who are going to get...
Would it be fake cops picturing Trick?
Sure, of course. As the chief, we did a little joke on that last year, but gosh, this is great. This is like a brainstorming session. Everybody's set up, like Jay.
I'm actually confused about the writers. How many of them are female?
It's about half and half this year.
Okay, because, you know, I think that really comes through. I mean, when I watch this show, it reminds me of reading, like, my sci-fi romance.
Oh, that's fun, yeah.
And I think that is just such a lacking area for so many and why some people gravitated. I mean, do the writers have much of that kind of a background where they're...
It's funny, to be honest, not a lot of us have worked in genre as far as television, but there's something fresh to the fact that we were all genre fans, you know what I mean? And I do think you come forward without the same constraints, you know? We're kind of like, well, why can't it be sort of female-driven and stuff like that? And again, I really want to speak to Jay Firestone, has really pushed that, you know? He's like, we want to do something that's familiar but fresh, you know? So we really strive. Like, we've had amazing female writers on the show. It was created by Michelle Lavretta. I'm not too shabby. Alex Zeroni, Sandra Chiawaska. Like, we do kind of strive to make sure we have quite a few people in there. So, but dudes
And
we
we've
get
had
to, they can write too.
we've had a lot of, you know, female directors too, which is very rare. I mean, there's not very many female directors.
Both our producers are female, Vanessa and Wendy Green. It's a very female-friendly set, which is important as well, given the subject matter, you know. So,
has any of the cast expressed an interest in directing this season?
Not really.
A lot of people express interest in directing.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much everybody.
Exactly.
Pretty much everybody.
Or writing, so...
There's a lot,
Is there anything that you ever wanted to do that you couldn't do because of budget constraints or maybe
Have you watched a little show I like to call Game of Thrones? Watch 10 minutes of that and I'm like, oh my gosh, how many dragons are in this?
All they do is walk on that show.
Yeah, that's true. You're not Game of Thrones?
I'm just seeing them do some running.
Okay, all right. Well, let's not blow the budget. We gotta have something for fifth season. But no, I mean, I've often said this is true. This sounds apologetic, but I think it's made me a better writer having to be smart because I don't have, Star Trek money necessarily. Not original Star Trek, obviously. I mean, we do really well too. I want to be clear about this. Like, I think we do incredible work with our sets and our effects, and we are just a sort of, underdog Canadian production. But again, I think what has worked about the show is the relationships and the characters, and people are sort of forgiving of, the Bigfoot with the zipper down the back because they feel like they've bought so much into the themes and the funny. So that's really gratifying, and that's fun to write. So,
that's what fans are coming back for.
Exactly. And for the most part, there's never been something we didn't solve creatively. It's kind of part of the fun, actually. Like, how are we going to do a lava monster? Do we have to see it in mirrors? How are we going to do that? I like that challenge,
And can you talk a little bit about the writing process? What's your writing process like?
Oh my God. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Panic, panic, panic. Coffee, coffee, coffee. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks from beginning to end. I think people would always be surprised how many drafts it takes. TV is really collaborative versus a film, which is maybe one person. We have a team of writers who I adore. We all take a pass. We have 2 networks, producers who have notes. We really trust our cast after all this time. They are very protective of their characters, and we value their input. So, we all kind of break the season as a team, then we break each episode as a team, then an individual writer will take it off and do an outline, first draft, second draft, and then we might pass it around for comedy pass or whatever, but it's really, really collaborative. So at the end of the day, the name on the top of the script is almost meaningless. I mean, unless it's a good script, then that writer should have full credit, but it's a joy. I'm very social for a writer, so I love working television because it's so collaborative. So
television is very different.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
You do table reads?
Maybe we do, which is really fun.
And is there improv that happens there?
Well, we sort of have like a week prep that we do for each episode. So the episodes shoot for 7 days or 8 days, depending on the size of the episode. But we have a week before that where the director has come in, the director who will be shooting the next episode, and the writer of that script, and the producers, and all the production team. You know, all of our keys like wardrobe and production designers and visual effects, everyone. So we have like a whole week where the script sort of, you know, might change a bit because we're, you know, you've got to fit it into your board. So it's really fun. Everybody works together, and it's kind of like to solve problems. And then we have, on our last day of the prep, we have our table read. It's the chance for the actors to sort of, you know, and for the writers to hear the script.
The jokes are working. And
Is there a lot of improv work with the actors at the table read?
sometimes at the table read, but more after the fact. You know what I mean? Like, it's often the first time they read it, so they maybe aren't prepared to sort of clip it out. But you know, that's part of the joy of being in fourth season. We all trust each other. So if they do sort of say on the floor, "Can I try this?" We'll say, "Okay, try it once that way. Give me one the way it's written." You know what I mean? Especially with our core cast, we know them really well. So,
Can you give us any more clues on what's going to happen for Bo this season?
oh, she's just got a whole lot of, you know, Destiny is coming calling for Bo. We've often hinted at that she's maybe bigger than the rest of the Fae. There's something unique about her, and like, for better or for worse, the girl who doesn't love to make decisions is probably going to have to.
Daddy's
So,
come calling.
might be. We don't know. Yeah, exactly. Somebody's going to call it. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and I think, you know, she's just realizing how important her family is to her. This makeshift family, like in the world of crazy, she has to sort of put the team back together again, despite her own troubles. So she's got a lot of work to do. That's why she's not here at Compound. Yeah, seriously.
And I think like a big theme of the season is sort of like discovery too for everybody. There'll be a lot of new information uncovered, and
For Kenzie's character, for me, I think the Russian part of it just completely makes that character.
Oh, good.
Was she originally written or thought of as having that Russian background, or was it until you actually cast
Ksenia.
Yeah, that was that was another character when the show was being created. It sort of changed with who was chosen. I mean, I think we had six people who came in to audition. Who came in to actually test. Like, it was, you know, the finals, and you know, Ksenia really blew us away. So I think that role definitely was sort of tailored for her. You know, when Jay Firestone saw her, he was just like, "Whoa, this girl!" You know, it was kind of the same thing with Anna, where it was just like, "All right, this is the girl," and now let's you know. And obviously, everybody knows, I think Ksenia is such an amazing actress, and she's just got so many layers, and I mean, she's just like such a joy to have on the show.
Yeah, it seemed like for the characters, at least, you know, superficially you would think, oh, this person could get annoying, or is this person really as sexy as they're trying to make her out to be? But their charm seems to be really what just sells it. Like, she isn't annoying. She's really charming. Amazing. So is that, you think, equal parts writing in the cast, or do you think it really took these people to pull off these characters?
I think it's like 80% the actors, you know what I mean? Like, I think, and then just the joy of figuring out her strengths and writing to it, like realizing you can push her, she can pull off all these jokes. She's hilarious if she's got this crazy Russian family. She's always calling on for favors, right? That is, again, one of the, you know, privileges of writing for a cast with this chemistry, is you start to learn their strengths and weaknesses, and really are like, God, Anna's so vulnerable and sexy, and, you know, Chris is just so strong, and he's very dry. Like, so it's definitely a combination. But, you know, another thing that happens is in fourth season, they want to be challenged a bit. So you're like, okay, we're going to try something else. Here we go, you know, and they've never, ever disappointed. They're just, and it's like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, and I think we are just so lucky with our key cast. I mean, it's now growing, you know. Last year we had Rachel Scarston, who was like a really fun new addition to the actual cast, you know, not just for the show. For the show, obviously, she was super fun as well, and just so charming and charismatic. But yeah, I think like our group, we've got these, you know, they all are just such amazing, down-to-earth people, and it just makes it so so pleasurable for us because we've just got this group of people that you just want to be around, which I think we're so lucky. I mean, we have Anna as our lead. She's just the most down-to-earth girl you could ever imagine. She's just like when she walks into a room, like her smile just kind of like makes you happy. Like we're really lucky. Yeah. They're all just so great.
How are you handling the filming with a lot of bags and place tables?
Right. You know what? She looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like she is such a trooper. She came back to work after 6 weeks after giving birth to baby Sam.
We're like, did you have a baby?
Yeah, she just looks amazing. She is hateable. If she wasn't so hateable, I mean, likable. Like she's like, but she's such a professional. So and
she's got a great little support team. Even her husband and her mom, they've been amazing. I mean, it's honestly we don't even like notice the baby. Well, the baby's also the nicest baby alive. Sam is just like so cute. I've never heard him cry.
No, ever. Yeah. And like Vanessa, we try to take care of her. Like I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, and Vanessa got her a hella nice trailer. Like I think that's also part of being female friendly. It's like we got to put our money where our mouth is. So if our lead, who has helped us make the show a success, needs some time off to serve her family, that's okay. And it's been fine. It's been great.
She's been amazing.
So amazing.
She's been amazing.
Maybe she wants him to. I don't know. We'll see.
How has her unexpected time off impacted the creative flow of the show? Like, does it open up new opportunities for you?
Yes, it does. Actually, without getting too into it, it does. And part of the benefit again is having a strong ensemble to back her. You know what I mean? I think we have the benefit of a cast who can maybe take some stuff on their own while Anna's easing back into it. But really, we are all very close. She gave us plenty of notice, and it really hasn't affected anything in a way that will affect timing or airing. So probably should have had more scripts done because I had more time. But I got to get back to work. So yeah.